everyone, it's JJ, Jesse Murnane. I'm here to give you an update. As you can tell, I'm sitting in my yellow chair and not in the parking lot of CVPH, the hospital I work at. And that is because I am lucky enough to have amazing friends who happen to have a business, a production business, and are very talented and willing to do these for us for free. And I say us because all of us together collectively have really created Show Up. And as you might know, it's pretty difficult to find people willing to be involved on any political level, especially putting their business name on it. And so it is super important, before I go any further, that you guys like and subscribe to this channel. It is absolutely free to subscribe to a YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with it, you just need an email. It's super easy. And that way you get notifications in your email when I make these update videos. So that way, if it gets buried in the posts, especially in the group, since we have so many posts and updates, you'll at least see it in your email. And you can go right to the YouTube channel and you can find the most up-to-date. And all of my update videos are going to be featured on this site, on this YouTube channel. So it's super important that we support the people that are willing to support us. It's hard to find. And I really expect out of 17,500 people, that we could at least hit 1,000. That's a small ask, and I expect you guys to show up for me and show up for them. With that, I want to start with the debate. So it's interesting, right? So we watched the debate. It's no surprise that Kamala did amazing. I was kind of concerned in the beginning. She sounded a little nervous, but I think her adrenaline was running. And as she settled in, she was phenomenal. She got under Donald Trump's skin, as expected. She mentioned his rally size. That's all it took. He was unhinged. He said a lot of crazy things. It's kind of what we all expected. So what I want to bring to the update today is something that I thought about since actually watching a TikTok last night with somebody that brought up the point that he was a former Republican. And the question that was asked to him was, how is it that you decided to vote Democratic? And he brought up a fairly reasonable idea that I hadn't really even considered before, but it makes total sense. And I thought about it all day, and I've kind of added my own 2 cents to it. But essentially, the MAGA loyalists are not the people that we are talking to anymore. They shouldn't even be at the table. These people are not going to change their mind. They watched the same debate we watched last night, and they did not wake up this morning thinking that there was a single thing wrong with anything that Donald Trump stated. That's not going to change, and we need to really honestly start bonding together and banding together with the Republican Party. And before everyone jumps all over me, please listen. The Republican Party is at risk for losing their entire party if Donald Trump wins office. There is something to be said about history, and that there's always been a civil debate between 2 presidential candidates having a healthy conversation about policies. And then it was up to us to listen to these 2 respected individuals that really should be qualified to run the country and compare notes and compare policies. And that conversation should still be something that we have. It's a value in being able to be a citizen of the United States and having a choice. What we need to remember, though, is that when we are talking about Republicans, not MAGA loyalists, we also need to admit that we have our own uncertainties. It doesn't mean that we're uncertain that we're not going to vote for Kamala. I think everyone that's here, obviously, is going to vote for Kamala. But when we want people to grow and learn, we have to meet them in the middle with our own uncertainties. We can't start a conversation saying we know 100% that Kamala is going to be right on every level. We are not experts on policies. And in fact, I really wish that Kamala had a stage in which she was able to be challenged on her policies so we could have learned more even about her own. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So when we are uncertain about something, we actually are leaving room to grow and to learn and to educate ourselves to become certain. And then that should ebb and flow, right? So it's an evolution. So we become experts, or we don't hit a ceiling of certainty. When you look at MAGA loyalists, they're certain. They're 100% certain. But the ironic part is their certainty is a foundation based upon their own uncertainty and insecurities of things that they don't know. So it's kind of weird. So when we, as the more logical party, are looking at having conversations, first and foremost, admit that you're not 100% certain on things. Because let's face it, until it is tried, until it is actually laid out, until we're actually in a plan and an agenda of Kamala's policies, we don't know what's going to work. We've been facing the same issues for years and for decades, and we really can't ever be 100% certain. And the only way we're going to invite other people from the Republican Party to the table is to first and foremost say, I'm like you, I'm uncertain. The MAGA loyalists, they're certain. Those are the people you do not want to have conversations with. So we are not sheep and we are not experts, but we are humans and we should be uncertain in the things that we don't know everything about. So my advice to you is, if you are talking to a Republican, not a MAGA loyalist, because we refuse to talk to those MAGA loyalists. They are unchanged. They will never be people that we will turn. But when you're talking to a Republican, it is so important to not be certain in the things that you are not certain about. Lead with vulnerability, lead with being human, and have a conversation. And then we have room to grow together, to rebuild these two parties that were never meant to be against one another. So that is my update for you guys. I also want to let you know that, again, all of my updates will be here. They will be sitting on this chair once a week. I haven't yet determined that day yet, a week, but I really expect each and every one of you to show up to watch these videos. It certainly doesn't take that much time to hear me out, and I really expect to have some exciting news in the upcoming weeks about all of the states and the towns that are working so hard to get their marches together. So like, subscribe, please help Decoded North, who is dedicating their time, energy, and resources. This costs money just to get subscribers. It's a very small ask, and I hope to see you guys next week. Peace.